Alright, hey guys, I'm Monster Matt here. We can't push the thing off a desk and it falls and breaks. Is that clause in effect or pause in effect? Well, it depends on whether or not the cat is feline. I guess it would either be respawn, like paw, responsible, or responsible, like pounce. Depends, either way. Hey Raptor, hey Kyle, hey Dustin, hey April, hey Pixel, hello everyone, thank you for being here for Matt Gets Mad at Monkeys. Monkeys! Yeah, so either way it'll be a catastrophe, exactly. Thank you, April. It needs work. I mean, yeah, but it's hard to say responsible and getting across the meaning. Not gold, Kyle. Shiny, shiny ebon. We want that black border. The super sparkly shyness. The perfect run. Yeah, it's sad, Dustin. I agree. Doing good, Kyle. Doing good. It is, Sif. It is. Cat runs headfirst into a wall and gets stuck halfway. Is it a cat? A catastrophe? No, but it sounds kind of like Schrodinger's cat. Because now you're only observing half of it. So does the other half still exist? Taking the shiny, I'm playing Scotland Bot and taking part in the shiny Wo-Chien Terra battles. Before different events reach the Tablets of Ruin. Tablets of Ruin. Honestly, Tablets of Ruin sounds like a Legend of Zelda, you know, like tagline, you know. The Legend of Zelda, Tablets of Ruin.
Take me to your leader.
Hey William, how's it going, dude?
Upgrade time.
Ruins of Alf. I mean, would Link know what to do with Unknown? I don't think so.
Upgrade in progress.
But honestly, I'd be down with that because, like, the Unknown never got to do anything cool. Like, they were this big mystery back in Gen 2, and then, like, they kind of got a bit of a spotlight in the third movie, and then nothing. Poor Unknown. I just wanted to have some alphabet good times.
In progress.
Doing good, William? Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. Cat skeletons, ugh.
Upgrade in progress.
Oh, the TV show? Yeah, I mean, I know of it, but I never really watched it, honestly. That's the problem, Kyle. Yeah, like, I don't know. Unknown never really did anything. He wasn't very strong. It would have been cool if they came back later and had, like, you know how, like, Wishy-Washy in later generations had the schooling form. Would have been cool if they did that with, like, Unknown. Make like a I don't know, a Rubicon or whatever, like some kind of comprehensive swarm of Unknown. I see, Raptor. It's a little distressing. Oh, April. So everyone gets a shiny as long as they pitched in. The lexicon form. That's the one. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, you could, Kyle. Yeah.
Upgrade time.
But yeah, for those who are unfamiliar, this is Sunset Gulch. It is a recently added map, added along with the Desperado Tower. And, you know, it's pretty straightforward. Bloons start down here or go over here. The problem is this railroad track across the middle. That's where on round 40 the Moab spawns and will continue to be a problem intermittently throughout the run. Including the final round 100. Where basically it's just a straight shot across the screen. No muss, no fuss, no breaks. And it's hard because it's not a long way to go. And you have very little room to actually fight them because you only have, you know, you can cluster up here, you can cluster up there, but, you know, there's a couple spots along the way, but there's not a whole lot of room to put things along the bridge to fight the things. That's why I like using the Mermonkey and the Boomerang Monkey here, because the Boomerang's got the firepower, or at least the attack speed, and the Mermonkey grows to, like, put, like, a slowing ink on things. Which buys us more time. Oh yeah, you guys were doing Jamboree with the Switch 2 camera? Neat. How did it work out? How's the camera quality? Yeah, I know, Raptor, I know. I'm sorry, dude. I know it's not really your thing. But have a good night, dude, alright? I see everyone, I see. Cool. Yeah, glitters and ice can slow too, and ice does good damage to boot, so it's tempting. trying to decide what else to put on around here. Because like what I realized is if you upgrade the top path mermonkey to its highest point, you can place water monkeys around it, which is pretty good actually. Lets you bring water monkeys to non-water maps. So
upgrade in progress.
Let's just put the boat here, and the boat's a really strong unit. Obviously, it gives us more attack power across the whole map. So well, these two have got it, but I'll get overwhelmed sooner or later, so I gotta be careful. I'll grab a Abyssal Warrior here in a second. There it goes. There's the ink. Oop, almost lost one there. Right. It's not gonna let us last too much longer, so let's start putting in other defenses too. Hey Hawkeye! How's it going, dude? Welcome to Matt still trying to overcome this darn canyon. Yeah, it was cute, Seth. Surprisingly wholesome. I thought it was gonna be some kind of weird horror thing, but nah, Garfield's still just taking care of John. That's nice. Alright, so these three should have a pretty good run here. I'm tempted to whip up a helicopter anyway, just to chase down anything that gets past these guys, but the plane might make more sense, honestly. I'm not sure where to put it, though. It has to be near the boat, too, I think. Nope. I'm taking of all monkeys, so no, it doesn't have to be. Okay. Well, put a plane up here then, in preparation for later. Hang on, let me do a little plotting here. That goes there. Let's get Monkey Bureau first. Oh, nice, okay. I don't know much about Deltarune, you know, but it sounds like it was a hard boss, so that's good. Congratulations to him. I'm sure I'll get talking to playing it sooner or later, and then I'll have to figure it out for myself, so one of these days, maybe. It was in the main chat this morning, Kyle. Alright, so with the MIB bought, all of our monkeys can pop everything, basically, so that makes them good at getting around defenses. Like 4 days to beat it. Wow.
Large targets acquired.
Alright, we'll put this guy along here for the moment. We want never miss, so he can, his darts will seek out targets. There we go. Pineapples and Spy Plane. Well, if we can get to Spectre, then we'll be in a pretty good shape, honestly. And then we'll go over the boat after that.
Large targets acquired.
See, things are already trying to sneak by. That's crazy. I saw a point there where... Oh, yep. There it is. Now, do we want to go fire magic or shadow magic? Shadow is cheaper, but we don't need to invest in fire for as long, so I don't know. We go Wall of Fire, Dragon Breath, and that would be pretty good for a while all by itself. We don't need to go any further than that for right now. Whereas the bottom path doesn't really become useful until here. Let's go fire. Yeah, Dragon Breath is cool. Dragon. There. That should hopefully help us clean up any balloons trying to sneak by us. Now we need 24 grand for the Abyssal Warrior, 25 grand for the Spectre, and 37 grand for the Permacharge. They're all good, important things to have. But the plane is arguably the most important one, though, because it makes the plane that is currently an okay unit into a much better one. The rest of these guys can all function on their own. The plane is kind of just piddling until we get to the Spectre, so maybe we'll go that one first, see if we can swing that. The next big hurdle, though, is going to be 63. We're on 59 right now. As long as I'm careful, we should be fine. 63 is where the first big balloon rush happens. And if we can get past, oh, well, I guess this here on 60 is important first, too. But if we can get past this and get past 63, then we'll be in pretty good shape for a while, I think. So far, the ice cannon and the fire breath and the balloon meringues getting the job done. 62 is handling just fine. 63 coming up in a hurry. Those are first reinforced balloon. Those are kind of a problem too. Alright, 63 gonna be up at any time now. And the reason I like the Spectre so much is because it uses to kind of. Hang on, let me look at this first. We're gonna get past this, alright? Yeah, okay, so the ice is stopping most of the wave. That's awesome. Okay, we're good. So the reason I like the Spectre so much is, so the bottom path of the plane up until this point, basically, those who are unfamiliar with it, starts off with sharper darts, so your darts pop more things. You get the centered path, which is a different flight path for the planes. You can kind of direct it differently, because up until then, the plane can only be centered around the landing strip, where like, you know, like the thing of it, like the thing you put on the ground the plane launches from. But with the centered path, you can place the plane anywhere you want in a big circle, which is nice. Never Miss gives you homing shots, which makes the sharper dart thing a lot more useful. But the reason the Spectre is so good is it keeps throwing out the darts, but it also adds like a straight line directed chain of rapid fire bombs, which like aim themselves. So it's really good. When combined with exploding pineapples, which also improves your explosive attacks, and spy plane, because unlike most things, a lot of towers have an upgrade that lets them see camouflage balloons, right? But the spy plane one lets you hit camo and also increases how much damage you do to camo. So it's not just, oh, you can see them, it's also you hurt them more. So more explosive damage, more damage to camo balloons, and the Spectre combine really nicely into a big anti-camo death plane, which is especially good against DDTs because they are camouflaged and they are a pain in the butt. Now, the problem is that DDTs also have the qualities of black balloons, which means that they are explosion-proof. And so that's a problem, which is why I like to put the plane next to the MIB, because the Monkey Intelligence Bureau lets them bypass the explosive immunity. And so all of a sudden, the Spectre gets really, really, really good. Plus, you get the attack speed bonus from Jungle Drums, and if we can manage to swing the boat thing, then we can also stack upon that the attack speed bonus from Carrier Flagship. But that's a bit of an ideal situation. You know, we'll have to try and see if we can pull that one off. We gotta get there first. But that's kind of like the dream, you know. dream of the dream of the dream dream dream.
Done.
Those reinforced balloons are kind of freaking me out, though. So we're about 11 grand out from Spectre, which will give us a lot of firepower. We got through 63, okay. The next big super rush wave is 78, but there's still some, you know, there's still, you know, red balloons and reinforced blue balloons between here and there, so we gotta be careful. Can't get completely lazy about it.
Now it is done.
So I kind of picked this game because I figured, you know, I had a couple ideas as what we might play tonight, but I hadn't quite settled in on any ideas. But are you guys okay with this? I know Bloons isn't exactly a rapper's cup of tea, and I feel bad about that. But I mean, do the rest of you guys enjoy watching the game, or is it just kind of like, hey, whatever, it's fine, you know? Because obviously, like, it was, I felt like it was probably a little more interesting to watch back when we actually got through different maps in the same day. But as we get into intermediate maps, it's gotten so challenging that, like, you know, it takes me I've been trying off and on this map for like over a couple weeks now, and not that I play every day, but still. So it makes me worry that, you know, you guys are just kind of like, yeah, this is fine, but I'm kind of bored. Yeah, I guess it is kind of an easier one to like chat through, I guess, and that's fine. I mean, if you guys like chatting, I don't mind chatting. But I know that it's not necessarily like the most gripping entertainment. Unless you're also into the game, I guess, in which case I guess it could be. Mulling through hundreds and thousands of balloons here. $24, $25, the magic number has arrived. The Spectre! Bum 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 bum. See, it just throws. I have no idea how it does this exactly. It just throws a continuous string of bombs with perfect accuracy. If such a thing ever existed in real life, we'd be terrifying. Well, I mean, I guess missiles are kind of what that is, I guess, but I don't know. Pretty rapid fire even for missiles. Hogan's career, I mean, it's pretty clear to see, because like they actually put the old WrestleManias up on Netflix here recently, so I've watched the first couple of WrestleManias, and like it's crazy how big of a thing it was. They had the first WrestleMania in Madison Square Garden, and you could tell like Hulk Hogan was the guy, you know. Like they had a lot of like they had other talent that, you know, that even now is held up in high esteem, and rightfully so. But I mean, you can kind of tell that, like, especially during that particular era, Hulk Hogan was like the guy. You know, he held up the whole company. You know, the charisma, the figure, the personality. You know, he was, you know, like you can tell why he was such a big deal. Oh, Andre? I think they did the Under the Giant against somebody, but it wasn't Hogan, I don't think. At the first one. I think at first WrestleMania it was Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, like Mr. T from the A-Team against two other guys. Gotta say, I was not expecting Mr. T, but you know, he was there. I know, April. It's crazy. But I mean, like, especially going back to watching those old WrestleManias, like, they're a big deal now, but they were such a spectacle back then. Like, for WrestleMania 1, they got, like, a retired famous baseball announcer to do the commentary. They had, like, a famous actress co-hosting. They got Liberace, like, the piano guy, to come, like, you know, sit ringside. You know, like, they had so many famous people. So many celebrities, musicians, actors, like everybody showed up. It was crazy. Alright, we're on 78. That's the next big rush wave, and we're doing alright for ourselves so far. Kind of debating what I want to put on next. I guess we could go for the Lord of the Abyss at 24K, get the boat built, but I'm not sure we're going to have enough time to get both done. We can go for 37K and get in permacharge, which is always really good. Yep, the Honky Tonk Man, yep. There's the Honky Tonk Man. Randy Savage. You know? Couple of guys were based on like Olympians. Jake the Snake. Yep. That's like the old era. Then you go, and then of course you had the Attitude Era, which was like you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mankind, The Undertaker. But that's a little bit later on. Hey Pixel, how's it going? And of course, when Pixel arrives, the Monster Mash comes alive. We'll do the mash. We'll do the Monster Mash. The Monster Mash. We'll do Monster Snacks. Didn't much care to watch wrestling yourself? You get glances when your brother would watch it? Yeah, like, it's like for me, like, the story is fun. But also, like, especially nowadays, they've taken more to, like, the athletic side of it, because obviously people went through this whole period being like, oh, wrestling's fake, wrestling's fake. And, like, yeah, it's scripted at times, and, like, for the most part, it's scripted, but that doesn't make it fake. The athletes have to put in an incredible amount of work to pull off the stunts they do without hurting anybody, you know what I mean? Like, it is not easy, you know? Like, yeah, like, they're following a storyline, but, like, they still gotta sell the characters. They still have to, you know, put in the work. Like, it's not easy at all. So, like, I guess it depends on what you qualify as fake, you know? Like, but it's no different than, like, I don't know, like, you know, actors, you know, following the script and no one accuses that of being fake, so I don't know. Yeah. And even then, they get hurt sometimes. Kurt Angle, was, a wrestler they had, but before he became signed to a WWE, or after the time, he was an Olympic gold medalist. Like, he actually won Olympic gold for wrestling. The dude was as real of a wrestler as it got. But he won the gold medal, and broke his neck doing it, and was in pain for years afterwards. Yeah, it's kind of like if stunt doubles did acting. Yeah, kind of, I mean, basically, yeah. You know, so like, these people like put their bodies and their careers on the line every night, you know, and like whether or not their storyline is 100% authentic, I think that deserves at least some respect, you know. Because it's definitely not a simple thing. Like, not just anyone can do that. I mean, imagine having to climb up on those ropes and throw yourself off the side of a, you know, off the side of the ring and landing on a table or something. Like, you know, being willing to hurt yourself for entertainment. You know? Now, granted, they've trained, they've practiced, and they've done everything they can to minimize that hurt, but it's still gonna hurt. Yeah, exactly. And like, it all comes down to whether or not you're able to appreciate it. And I know that not everyone can, and that's okay. I mean, not everyone has to like the same things, and that's fine. I just like to try and give people their due, you know? Because the effort is real. You know, the story might not be, but the effort is. Alright, we're on 85. We've got Permacharge and the Spectre up, so it's a lot of firepower. We're eating through their balloon lines so far. Nah, honestly, BMJ, I think it was just right. It hit the tones just right without going full Michael Bay. Ooh, Summon Phoenix is tempting. Do I want Summon Phoenix or do I want Lord of the Abyss? Lord of the Abyss. Could also slap down another thing to boost the the permacharge even higher. Kind of tempted to do that actually. Can I pull that off without making a mess? Maybe. Boom. There you go. Permacharge even stronger. Exactly, BMJ. Exactly. Well, exactly, and honestly, part of the problem is that while the talent, like the wrestlers themselves, do a phenomenal job, unfortunately the corporate stuff behind them and the writing teams don't always get it right. So, especially with the current era of WWE, where like they've been trying to appeal to more family-friendly audiences, and so they had to take a lot of the violence and a lot of the more adult themes out of it, which like I get to a certain degree, but it's really sort of watered down a lot of the storylines and made some things repetitive. So like, you know, a lot of a lot of the creative decisions have kind of been lackluster, because if you want the fans to get invested in what they're seeing, you have to make it matter, you know? And it's not always easy to create a storyline week to week to week to week that'll keep everyone engaged. So the creative side has kind of been a tricky spot for a lot of people here in recent years. I did think so, I did, yeah. It looks good. The story and the art style look super charming. I glanced at the reviews saying that after like the second chapter it gets super buggy, but I'm still willing to give it a shot. So we'll give it a whirl probably sometime in the near future. Yeah, Civic, yeah. It depends on which show, BMJ. They definitely like doing the promos and whatnot. But one thing that has happened here recently that is interesting is for a long time, a lot of the other private wrestling agencies had closed down because they just couldn't compete with WWE. But a new one that was originally founded by like Cody Rhodes and a few other well-known wrestling figures, got backed by someone with real money, and they formed AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and it's the first like legitimate competition WWE has had in like 20 years. And it's got a lot of big names signed to it, and it's been doing really well for itself. So now that there's actual competition, we might see like a bit of a quality increase from WWE as well, because they have to compete, you know? They still have more money and more sponsors, but like AEW has been a little edgier and a little closer to what like wrestling used to be. So they're very popular right now. So. Oh, yeah, excellent. Well, that's good. Hopefully they fixed it then, because a lot of the reviews were talking about how like buggy it was, so maybe they fixed it. That'd be good. Okay, we're coming down. We're at 94. We are really, really, really close to finally being done this infernal mission. Trying to decide what I want to spend my last, like, we're up to almost 28,000 here. I'm trying to decide what I want to spend it on. The Abyss Lord is actually a good call here. It'll increase the pierce of our other stuff, too. Come on, get him. There we go. Push through that. We can now put the boat down if we want to. Put the boat in the water. So it's gonna get rushed from up there. My favorite? I don't know. I haven't followed it long enough to really have like a long-standing favorite. But there's definitely some cool ones. You know, the intros are pretty neat. And like back when I watched WWE, there's definitely some talent that that tends to hang out down in like the developmental brands like NXT, where like you know they do more acrobatic stuff. Like Ricochet and them were like down there, but I think he's up on the main roster now. I think I haven't really been watching in a while. '97. No, I did not. Yep. No gladiators here. Okay, we got another panic button. Deploy the Eagle! Although the Phoenix, actually. Hey, Texas! Hit the booster. Ooh, boy. $99. No, 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 no. Ah! Seriously? Ah! Let me guess, if I put in even a single sniper monkey, we would totally have this. Ah. Watch, watch, watch! Look, we're done! What's up, man? No, okay, so we still got screwed. That's annoying. So close! Ah, so close! No, I would if I would, but the bridge doesn't let you, but like you can't build across this opening. Alright. Hang on. So the plane did work. 440,000 pops. Fire monkey, 98,000. You're new, so you're kind of getting excused. 275, 161, 711,000.
I come in peace.
22,000. I guess the boat didn't end up helping much because we couldn't actually, you know, get to its final form. I suppose if I had repurposed the money from the wizard and the boat into something else. So I guess we try the same thing until the wizard put the sniper in earlier. It's a lot, Kyle. It's a lot. This is why I both love and hate this game, because it's just like, all you gotta do is try the exact same thing you just did, but tweak like one thing at one point, and make sure you don't mess it up. But yeah, Anth, I'm actually eating right now. I whipped up some foods. I can now, guy. As long as you restart the whole thing clean, then it resets your eligibility. How's it going, Texas?
This planet is acceptable. Drone power.
Because getting to the winning setup wasn't enough. We didn't win.
Upgrade in progress.
Plus, you need to, like, what do you end up winning with? Often, like, when you buy stuff matters as much as what you buy. And obviously, with the winning setup, you win in the end, but you don't, like, obviously I haven't got the border, so it didn't win well enough, you know what I mean?
Upgrade time.
Let's try something a little different. Yeah, I'm the same way, April, honestly. I don't tend to eat when I first get up either.
Upgrade time.
Alright, Pixel. Happy lurking, dude.
In progress.
A swig of milk? What, out of the bag? I don't know about that one. It can be, Kyle, yeah. What I'm wondering here is what's better, because, like, normally I'd go Flash Bomb, which gives the ninja lead popping, but also access to Sticky Bomb later. But on such a short course, I don't know if the Sticky Bomb is going to be useful. Master Bomber will probably be pretty good against the bad. But going Grandmaster Ninja gives us 8 shurikens a shot, plus homing from Seeking Shuriken. And I'll give this guy MIB, then 8 shurikens that home and can pop 4 balloons each is, you know, a lot of coverage. Not sure if they'll get through if they'll get through ceramics or not, though, is the problem. And ceramics are kind of the issue. Okay, I guess we didn't have enough firepower for that one. I thought we would. So whatever we're doing, I need to do it a little sooner than that. Monkey Intelligence Bureau, so... I guess like I could try to go for like the Boomerang Paragon, the Glaive Dominus, but then I need to come up with 35,000. Well, actually, that's kind of affordable. But then like another 200 grand on top of that, and that's not happening. It's pretty hard to hit Paragons on chimps because of just how much money you need. Oh wait, I'm not done yet. What am I doing? Etienne first, then the ninja.
Take me to your leader. Upgrade in progress.
Yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. Like I said, a lot of it isn't necessarily like we're doing it wrong necessarily. Some of it is just timing, you know?
Drone power. Upgrade time.
Favorite sports show besides WWE? I didn't really watch sports as a kid, honestly, like ever. I was too busy reading in school. I wouldn't say love, Kyle. I think it's interesting.
Upgrade in progress.
I'll only some eggs, April. I got some in my fridge. You know, if you can make all the way over here. Golf or X Games. Now, honestly, I didn't have the time to watch sports and things when I was a kid. I wasn't really allowed to.
Upgrade time.
Saturday morning cartoons was pretty much the best I got, which was good, 'cause I liked them too. But if it was a school night, we can pretty much forget it. Well, yeah, like when so I spent, I don't talk about I'll tell you about too much, but basically, when I was a kid, I spent, like, I was always being passed between, like, so, I spent the week with my mom, usually, and then the weekend with my grandma, and for the most part, mom had control of the TV, basically, so after school was homework time, not, you know, goof off time. So I had to come home, get my homework done before, you know, whatever else, help with dinner, and then, you know, sometimes if mom was watching like National Geographic or something educational or whatever, she'd have, you know, I could go over and watch that with her. But I wasn't generally allowed to, like, you know, like, I would sometimes get the TV, I guess, but I don't know, it didn't, you know, it just wasn't. For the most part, you know, I would just watch, like, National Geographic and Discovery Channel and all that stuff. Again, with the not getting right past. How the heck?
Shields.
Why is that particular one pushing so hard all of a sudden? A little vexing. No, it's not so much I don't want to talk about it, just, I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't remember a lot of those days anymore. Like, I just kind of don't have those memories. But, I don't know. Basically, I don't know. It wasn't a very happy time of my life. Let's just put it that way. You know, yeah. Yeah, I had friends at school, but they weren't allowed to, like, come over or whatever. Mom didn't want us making a mess or giving her extra work. She didn't really give me the sense that she liked kids very much.
Upgrade in progress.
Alright, well, the ninja is not really panning out the way I wanted him to, so...
Upgrade in progress.
About what, Kyle? Cared a lot about what? No. I mean, I think in her own mind she thought so, but in practice, no, not really. She said she liked having things her way, and that was about all that mattered. We gotta decide what we want to do here. I need something that will help with the waters. I don't need definitely to help with the camo, but something that'll break a lot of masked up infantry things. No, you're fine, Sif, you're fine. Like I don't mind talking about it, just I don't know, I don't like putting it online, I guess, because you know, I don't want to invite any more drama over it. The last thing I need is to get some email or something being like, ah, blah 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 blah, you said this, blah 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 blah, that's not true. And I'm just like, I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm done. I'm good.
Upgrade in progress.
Can I put a super in there? Probably not, but I kind of want to try. The plan currently is find a way to clear masked balloons, and I don't think the super will fit here. He's too big. Dang it, Soups! You're too huge. In here, I guess. Problem with this guy is he's too expensive, but give him a shot, I guess. We haven't tried him yet. All of his upgrades cost too much early on. I've been booked by JB. What's up, dude? Well, right, yeah, for sure. In my case, I'm more talking about just like, I don't know, just the fact that like, I don't want to put it as simply as possible, I don't speak to my mother. And I haven't spoken to her in a long time. And I'm not looking to, you know, I don't know how she would hear, I don't know, I don't think she watches our streams, you know, but the last thing I want is to have some email or something saying, oh, you heard you talking smack on stream last night, here's a legal action or something. You know what I mean? I don't know if she'd do that, but I don't want to find out. Yeah, but Paragons cost hundreds of thousands of gold, Kyle, so I'm not sure how I'd afford that is the problem. If I had access to, farms, it'd be one thing. Well, there's not a lot of space in this map either for the farms either, honestly, but... Yeah, it's tough stuff. Problem I have now is I've left myself in a point where I'm not sure I can actually... Ooh, you little snapdragon. I'm not sure if I can afford the upgrade I need to defeat the blimp is the problem. I need turbocharge for that. I don't think these guys have the firepower to kill it. It's more the other way around, JB, to some degree. It's complicated. It's one of those situations, like... Okay, so... to put it as simply as possible, it's a topic I don't bring up much, because if someone comes from a relatively happy family, the idea of not talking to your own parent is really hard to grasp, and I understand that. But, like, for people who have been through abusive households, they get it easier, but I'm not, and so, like, sometimes, like, there've been a lot of times, a lot of situations where, like, I'll mention that I don't talk to my mom much, and pretty much inevitably, you get people who look at you like you're crazy. They go, "Oh, that's so terrible of you. How could you not? You know, this is your parent. You know, you can't not talk to them. They're your mom. They're your dad. They're whatever. You know." But it's like, I'm sorry. Like, I respect that opinion, but it's like, well, you know, not all families are happy families. Let's just put it that way. You know, yeah, everyone's different, exactly. So, to sum it up really quickly, without getting into the whole thing, when I was a teenager, Mom basically didn't. I think in her mind, she treated me, you know, she did the best she could, but a lot of the time she just really didn't seem to want to have a kid, and I got yelled at a lot for a lot of dumb things. Sometimes it was my fault, I guess, but a lot of the times it felt like what I had done didn't deserve the punishments that I got. And she was especially terrible, not just to me, but to my grandmother. She would treat her like dirt a lot of the time, which was hard to sit and watch. And it just got to the point where I was miserable all the time, angry all the time, and so at the age of 16, when I was, you know, considered legally to be old enough to be an adult, at least as far as these kind of decisions go, I went to school one day, and I didn't go home that night. I moved in with my grandmother. She took me in because she knew how hard it had been. She'd been there for me every day of my life up to that point, and she was kind enough to give me somewhere to go. And that was that. You know, Mom wasn't happy, but she couldn't force me to go home because I was old enough. And, you know, that was just how it was. You know, we just had to do what we could do to get away from that situation because it was really just not healthy for anyone. And I didn't really speak to Mom at all for a long time. And, on the night that Grandma passed away, well, not passed away, but the night we all went to the hospital because we gotten the news that Grandma was dying, Mom showed up to that. She had been, I think she was checked into the hospital, like the neighboring hospital at the time, so she was close enough to just wheelchair over. She's in a wheelchair. She has various health problems herself. But she power chaired over, and she was fine that night, and she was decent, which I appreciated. And so I tried to get back in touch with her then, because I thought maybe she had changed, but it came to the point where it just wasn't. I don't know. Just I tried for a few weeks or for a few months to give her the benefit of the doubt and to try and, you know, have some kind of relationship with her, but it just wasn't working. You know, she kept trying to throw Grandma's memory under the bus to make herself look better, and I just wasn't gonna stand for that after Grandma had been there for me my whole life, and that was that. I haven't spoken to her again since. So that's kind of the Matt's family, you know, short edition. As far as my dad goes, I never knew him. He and Mom had been dating, I guess, but before I came along. But by the time I was born, they were broken up. And I don't know the exact circumstances, but he had passed away before I was, like, old enough to remember him. I think it was either something to do with drugs or something to do with epilepsy or some combination thereof. I don't know. Something like that. So, I had a bunch of aunts and uncles, and they were pretty cool. Some of them would watch me. Some of them, you know, would hang out with me. But I know that as Mom got worse and more controlling as I got older, I know at least some of them backed off and didn't want anything to do with me, because they didn't want to give Mom a chance to get her claws in them. So that was kind of awkward and created some distance. And, yeah. That's kind of why, you know, a lot of things were not exactly happy at the time.
Drone power. Large targets acquired. Button drones deployed. Shields on.
I doubt it, Seth, unless, you have some kind of connection to the you know, to people in Canada. I wouldn't exactly think it likely.
This planet is acceptable. Upgrade in progress.
Well, I mean, I say unlikely, but what I'm saying is, unless you can literally be like, hey, yeah, you know, I know for a fact that my biological parent was in this city during these years, then, you know, it's not like their genetic material got up and walked across the border by itself. You know?
A great time.
I've heard of a long-distance relationship, but that's not exactly what they have in mind, I don't think. True, Kyle, but the problem is the hero gets stronger with levels, which it can only be gained by over time. So the quicker you get the hero down onto the map, the better off you are. Because Etienne gets a lot of nice upgrades later on.
I come in peace. A great time.
I have an idea. A weird idea, but an idea. I guess so. I have relatives. Meeting long lost families kind of neat. I guess I don't really like. Okay, or the name. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Like it's neat finding family. You know, you didn't know you had. I guess, but I don't know. Like I've got family on my dad's side that I don't. You know, like they. I knew them when I was a kid, like really young. But I think mom did something or said something. Because all of a sudden one day they didn't want anything more to do with us. I haven't heard from them since. So I don't know. Yeah, I probably should have gone for the permacharge first, but or turbocharge rather than permacharge. Yeah, still might make it, I guess, maybe. Time. Maybe just barely. Well, that's also true, Kyle. I agree with that. I think that there is such thing as found family. People that you know, that are there for you no matter what, who care about you unconditionally. And I think that's definitely something that a lot of us need these days, because sometimes your blood family doesn't, you know, there's a really unfortunate trend where blood relatives tend to take people for granted, I think. They think to themselves, oh, well, because this person is related to me by blood, so they'll always be there for me no matter what, and I don't need to treat them very well. I think that's unfortunate, you know? Just because you're related to someone doesn't mean you don't have to be nice to them. But some people, I don't know, it just becomes that way, I guess. Extra pews for magic monkeys, huh? It's not gonna be worth it. Desk lamp just did a weird blink. I'm hoping the power here isn't going to go out. If I suddenly disappear, you guys will have what happened. Doesn't happen here often, but it's summer. People's air conditioning sometimes causes brownouts and stuff. Yeah, it's tough April for sure. I guess, like, as someone who doesn't talk to a lot of his family these days, not that I couldn't, I guess, but like mom especially, but I always try and encourage people to, like, try and find ways to make it up with people if they can. Obviously, it's not that easy, but just because I have problems with my family doesn't mean I don't, you know, encourage others to find ways to get along with theirs, you know? If it's at all possible, anyway. Yeah, that too, Sif, yeah. Not so much in my area, but... But nah, like, we only had, like, one, maybe, like, I think we had, like, a power book a few weeks ago. That was the only one so far this summer, knock on wood. So, hopefully, it won't happen. It's usually pretty stable. Right, bro. Yeah, I heard that the Zelda live action is becoming more and more of an actual thing. Kind of wild. What the hell? Just went straight pie. I had the things and the stuff and the what the heck. No, okay, well, I guess we'll tell. I guess we'll know when it comes out. Yeah. Not enough firepower, I guess. Right, Apple. Well, it all comes down to what we, you know, can and cannot tolerate, I guess, you know? We've tried Sauda, we've tried Churchill. Churchill's got by far the most firepower.
The Sun God fights on the side with the best artillery.
The problem is that he doesn't have... He's too expensive. It takes him too long to get put down. I'm figuring out where you want to put him. Anyway, sorry for kind of bringing down the mood. Sorry for, you know, with all that life stuff. I didn't realize only 8 people were watching this one. I guess Bloons is dead on the channel. That's fair then. That's cool, at least now I know. I thought people still enjoyed it. My bad. Yeah, those weren't streams, those were upload videos, that's different. Yeah. Popping ASMR is nice. First one takes too long to get on the field. Well, the sniper, I've done sniper on this map before, and he works alright, but he struggles in the end.
Let the madness begin!
Why not? I've tried her before. On this one. Those are getting harder. Maybe overthinking it? Yeah, maybe. Speed puzzles are hard, though, so... Oh yeah, baby Joe? Cool. Good of them to do that, yeah. Charmander.
Yes? Oh boy! What's up? Yay me! What's up? One for you, one for you. Yes? Oh boy!
Yeah, that'd be fun, pal, yeah.
Yay, one for you, one for you. Yes?
Yeah, that's right, Seth. Yeah, it was Gene Wilder. He insisted on it because he was insistent that they
One for you.
introduce the
One
idea
for
that
you.
Wonka would be, you know, would lie.
Yes.
I believe so. Recently, Kyle, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the free version, right? What's up, Sore? Sore wa Himitsu? Isn't like, doesn't it translate to like that's a secret, roughly speaking? Himitsu this.
That feels good. What's up? One for you. Mine. One for you. Again.
And still my
Is
boots.
someone napping?
I like the fire, but we need to space out more. My light keeps blinking. My power is definitely gonna go out, you guys. Oh, there's a storm outside. That explains a few things. Maybe I'd better bow out then before the getting's good. Wondering why it was blinking like that. Alright, well, sorry about cutting this so short, you guys, but looks like I might, in fact, be getting some thunderous accompaniment here in a moment. Some very dark clouds outside, so maybe I'd better shut this down just in case. Thanks for listening to the surprisingly serious Matt Power Hour. Sorry for the grimmer topics once again. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of Bloons and chill along the way. And for now, a Monster Matt out. Sorry to shut down right as you get in here. Himitsu, I hope to see you again at some point. But for the rest of you, have yourselves a great night. I'll see you tomorrow for whatever we end up doing. And for now, a Monster Matt out. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.